Hello and welcome. My name is Laura Gonzalez, and I am the Program Director here at the Medical College of Wisconsin's Anesthesiology Residency program. I'm excited to spend the next several minutes discussing the many aspects of our unique educational program, our great faculty, and our wonderful location here in Milwaukee. We are excited to meet you during your upcoming interview, and I look forward to sharing more about our program in this upcoming video. I've enjoyed reading your applications, and I'm looking forward to getting to know more about you on interview day. A little bit about me. I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin, where I completed my undergraduate, medical school, and residency training at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. After spending a year at the University of Chicago for my adult cardiothoracic anesthesiology fellowship, I moved to Milwaukee and joined the faculty at MCW and have been here for a little over 6 years. I have been heavily involved in resident education from the get-go, and I was an associate program director before I took on the role of PD in 2023. My time in the ORs is spent at our main campus hospital, Fredert, where I care for patients undergoing cardiac, thoracic, or vascular surgery primarily, and I am also active on our department's quality steering committee. Outside the hospital, you will find me spending time with my 5.5-year-old daughter Penelope and my husband Sergio, who is a history professor at Marquette University. Our family lives in Wauwatosa, a suburb just west of Milwaukee, which is full of great neighborhoods, restaurants, schools, and parks. And there are many great neighborhoods and communities like this all around Milwaukee and the surrounding area. We take advantage of all 4 seasons and all kinds of activities around the city: festivals, the Milwaukee Public Museum and the Betty Bryn Children's Museum, parks, Brewers games and fun runs, apple picking, beaches. It's a great place to be. Milwaukee is a fantastic place to live, with lots of great restaurants, museums, and outdoor activities in addition to the friendly neighborhoods. We have many professional sports teams, including the NBA championship-winning Milwaukee Bucks and the Brewers, who play just minutes from the hospital. And of course, there is beautiful Lake Michigan, with lots of beaches, public parks, and running paths just steps from the water. The restaurant scene here is fantastic. There are lots of great microbreweries to visit, and we host off-Broadway theater productions and a world-class symphony orchestra downtown. We are known as the City of Festivals, and from April through September, you can try a new festival just about every weekend. Bastille Days, Polish Fest, German Fest, Fiesta Mexicana, Summerfest, we have it all. For those who like to travel in your free time, we have an easy-to-navigate airport only 20 minutes from the hospital, and we're also a convenient 90-minute train ride from downtown Chicago, or about an hour or so from O'Hare, depending on Chicago traffic. And Door County, the thumb of Wisconsin that sticks out into Lake Michigan and is affectionately called the Cape Cod of the Midwest, is a 4-season vacation destination only 2.5 hours away by car. Our city and state provide a wonderful setting for our excellent residency program here at MCW. It is our mission to value collaboration, selflessness, diversity, stability, and professionalism in our trainees and faculty. We are committed to providing you training that prepares you to grow into an attending anesthesiologist who delivers safe and high-quality patient care in the complex, team-based, technology-driven, and ever-changing healthcare landscape of the 21st century. Your residency training program is a jumping-off point for your medical career. It is here that you will form the habits of mind and practice that you will carry with you into your work, and here where you will form the relationships and connections with your residents and faculty colleagues that will nurture and sustain you through training and beyond. We support our residents' personal and professional growth and seek to cultivate a growth mindset in residents and faculty alike. We care for patients young and old, often with a high level of acuity in challenging and fast-paced circumstances, and we recognize that ensuring a positive learning environment and safeguarding the well-being of our residents, faculty, and staff is paramount. As program director, my mission is to develop excellent anesthesiologists and physicians, and to do so we start by recruiting good people to our field. While academic accomplishment is certainly important, it is not the only factor we consider when recruiting a residency class. We want good people, because good people make great doctors. Your patients will ask you to treat them with compassion, to apply your extensive medical knowledge to them as an individual, to advocate for them when they are voiceless, and to bring your professionalism, adaptability, and resilience to the operating room when you care for them. If your main motivation to enter anesthesiology is driven by lifestyle or money, this is not the program for you. We value a diversity of talents, backgrounds, interests, and career goals, and will support you as an individual. I'm not here to send everyone into fellowship and academic jobs, but I am here to nurture your interests and talents and offer the resources to help you find the right path forward in your career. My vision for myself as PD is to serve as your advocate, ensure that our program adapts to the changing needs of our trainees while still following ABA and ACGME guidelines, and to hold our residents accountable to standards of excellence in patient care and professionalism. I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce you to a few leaders in our department who helped to shape this into the excellent program it is. You will have the opportunity to interact with them and learn from them during your time at MCW. Dr. Cynthia Lean is our department chair. I cannot possibly do her CV justice, but among her many accomplishments, she is a former ABA president and oral board examiner, a former program director, an expert on neuromuscular blockade, and an avid supporter of our residency. John Arend is our department administrator who helps oversee our administrative team. The residency program leadership is comprised of a large team of hardworking people who I am truly blessed to have as colleagues and partners in this work. It takes a lot of people to run a residency with 80-plus residents. Our associate program directors include Dr. Annie Castro, who's a regional anesthesiologist, Dr. Maria Muravieva, who is an obstetric anesthesiologist, Dr. Chelsea Willey, who's a pediatric anesthesiologist and pediatric critical care intensivist, Dr. Amber Danabek, who is an adult cardiac anesthesiologist and critical care intensivist, and Dr. Tracy Zundel, who is an adult critical care intensivist, the director of our PGY1 intern year program, and the vice chair for academic affairs. Dr. Jessica DeSantis is our PhD education specialist, whose expertise in educational theory complements our clinical program leadership. She is heavily involved in our educational programming and faculty and resident professional development, and she is also available to work one-on-one with residents to support their development as adult learners and exam preparation skills. Our administrative support team includes 5 excellent coordinators. Nate Karst, who you will interact with frequently during the recruitment process, is also our intern year coordinator. Amy Kajier is our main residency coordinator, and Aaliyah Hayward, along with Amy, supports our residency and education division. Rachel Smith and Sarah Pritchard support our fellowships. Rounding out the team is Erin Walczewski, our education program manager. Our administrative team truly helped keep the wheels on the bus and the trains running on time to make sure our programs run smoothly. Finally, our chief residents for the 2025-26 academic year are CA3 residents Dr. Justine Wong, Dr. Brian Katnarich, and Dr. Ryan Sudarth. They are steadfast resident advocates, call schedulers extraordinaire, and all-around great human beings to know and work with, and I look forward to you getting to know them at some point during the residency recruitment process and interviews. As an institution, MCW has been a pillar in the healthcare and education space in southeastern Wisconsin for years, and we are a premier training location for many specialties, not just anesthesiology. Though we are a freestanding medical college and not affiliated with a university, our campus houses not just the medical school, but a pharmacy school, PhD training program in the biomedical sciences, and many master's programs, including a Master's of Science in Anesthesia. We have all the resources of a premier research facility and Level 1 trauma center. Our catchment area includes Wisconsin, northeastern Illinois, and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Our residents provide care at several hospitals, which includes Children's Wisconsin, the Veterans Administration Hospital, and Froedtert Hospital, which is MCW's main training site. We take care of patients from both rural and urban areas, including both farm and agricultural accidents and penetrating trauma. There are no shortages of patient care experiences for our residents. In fact, our emergency department has been ranked as the 5th in nation for acuity. That acuity trickles down into other areas of the hospital, including the operating rooms, and you will leave your training prepared to handle just about any surgical or obstetric emergency. Our department is large, with nearly 150 faculty anesthesiologists, and, in addition to our 84 resident trainees, many fellows and advanced practice providers who practice in the operating rooms, intensive care units, and clinics. We also have an active research division with a T32 training grant from the National Institutes of Health, a grant from the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, and millions of dollars of investment in research year to year. The presence of all of the ACGME accredited anesthesiology subspecialty fellowships and other non-accredited fellowships means that you can continue your training in anesthesiology without moving. It also means that you have access to the expertise of many fellowship-trained faculty with connections to other programs around the country to help grow your network as you search for other training opportunities or jobs. MCW ranks in the top third of all medical schools for NIH funding, and our department has an active anesthesiology research division. Opportunities for research in anesthesiology for residents vary from short research projects on an elective to a formal physician scientist training program. For applicants who want to build a career as a physician scientist, our department offers a physician scientist training program called Specialized Training in Anesthesiology Team Science, or STAT. This program allows residents with a strong research background to combine their clinical training with research under a faculty mentor. The STAT program is a categorical track with 4 years of clinical anesthesiology residency followed by a guaranteed year as a faculty instructor. During the 4 years of residency training, the resident receives a total of 11 blocks of research time, the maximum allowable per the ABA, to allow for protected time for development and dissemination of their research. Following residency, the resident is hired as a faculty instructor with 80% protected research time, supported by our department's T32 NIH grant. For trainees with limited research experience, whose research interests align with the priorities of the National Heart, Lung, Blood Institutes, an R38 appointment is also possible, which allows for up to 18 months of protected time. The STAT program is designed to develop exceptional clinicians and scholars through individualized training plans, mentorship, interdisciplinary research, and career development. We have had a number of successful physician scientists complete the program and join the faculty as productive researchers. We offer a separate categorical research track application within the match, and interested applicants should apply through MCW's categorical research track in ERAS. Outside of our STAT program, MCW's Anesthesiology Residency still offers plenty of opportunities for our residents to participate in scholarly activity, whether or not they plan to pursue a career in research or academics. Whether it is writing or presenting a medically challenging case, writing a book chapter, or presenting at a national meeting, our residents are well engaged and well mentored. We are always well represented at the ASA, and this year we are sending 8 of our residents. We also have residents represent us at other major subspecialty meetings like ASRA, SCA, SPA, and SOCA, to name a few. For residents who present at conferences, there is additional financial support, up to $1,500 each year, to offset the cost of attending beyond the usual academic funds. And of course, the Midwest Anesthesia Residents Conference is always well attended, and our residents are typically the recipient of many awards for their case presentations. This year, we had a great group of residents and medical students travel to MARC in Indianapolis. Of the 14 residents who presented, 8 won awards for their work. The department fully sponsors our residents to attend MARC, including a fun bus trip to and from the conference, a hotel stay, and fun excursions in the host city. This year's match will have 2 reserve positions for a PGY2 position beginning in July 2026, 1 categorical research position, 18 categorical positions, and 1 combined pediatrics anesthesiology residency position for a total of 22 spots. We do not offer advanced positions, that is, a PGY2 position beginning in 2027. So, if you join us here for residency, what will your time look like? Our categorical residents spend their intern year on a well-rounded rotation schedule, including medicine, surgery, emergency medicine, medical ICU, surgical ICU and acute care surgery, and anesthesiology rotations. These rotations primarily occur at the Clement Zablocki VA Medical Center or at Advocate Aurora St. Luke's Hospital downtown. During the intern year, you have the opportunity to participate in the Intern Professional Development Week. This is 1 week of non-clinical time spent together with half of each intern class, with experiences including didactic programming and a variety of topics listed here. The week also includes 2 community outreach opportunities where residents have the chance to get out into the city of Milwaukee and learn more about the city, as well as understand some of the challenges facing its most marginalized residents. This is also a chance to get together and bond as a class, which is essential to forming community with your co-interns as you support each other through the intern year and beyond. This week gets very positive feedback, and it is something our residency is very proud of. Once residents join us in their clinical anesthesiology training, or CA years, they take on cases of escalating complexity while working at Froedtert, Children's Wisconsin, and the VA. Our CA1s are introduced to the OR over a period of 4 to 8 weeks, while they're paired with senior residents and anesthetist preceptors before they begin working independently in the operating rooms. Much of the CA1 year is spent on general anesthesiology cases, but our junior residents have an opportunity to rotate through subspecialties, including pediatric anesthesiology, pain, obstetric anesthesiology, and often cardiac or neuroanesthesiology, depending on preferences. CA2s have a subspecialty heavy practice as they spend more time on cardiac, neuro, ICU, and pediatrics rotations. This is when they truly develop their expertise in treating the sickest of the sick patients. CA3s are working toward independent practice by solidifying their skills across all disciplines, while also taking on senior leadership roles on trauma night float, community anesthesia practice at our community hospital in Menominee Falls and West Bend, and on the anesthesia resident in charge practice management rotation at Froedtert. Anesthesiology is a 24/7, 365 and a quarter specialty, and residency is an apprenticeship model. The more time you spend in your practice, the better prepared you are at the end of your training. And we pride ourselves on providing exceptional clinical training to our residents. Our graduates going into practice consistently report back to me that they were more than ready to take on the challenges of independent practice, and that is my goal as PD. But we also do not expect you to be here 80 hours a week every week. On most OR rotations, between scheduled OR days and call shifts, residents work on average 55 to 60 hours per week. There are some rotations like trauma night float, cardiac, and neuroanesthesia where you may end up working longer hours, but we also have rotations like pre-op clinic, pain clinic, and chronic pain inpatient consults with more consistent daytime hours. Our residents can choose to do internal moonlighting within our department. Beginning CA1 year, once residents are eligible to take late call, they are also eligible to receive after 5 pay. This is an additional compensation for residents who work after 5 p.m. in the Freighter or Children's ORs on days when they are not scheduled to be on call. Currently, the only residents not eligible for this are residents on a J1 visa due to the conditions of the visa, although I am hopeful that the regulations on this may be changing in the near future. Residents also have the option to pick up moonlighting shifts on weekends in the cardiovascular ICU and Freighter Birth Center, or OB anesthesia rotation. There are more requirements to be eligible for these shifts, such as having done the rotation previously, being in good standing with the program, and achieving an in-training exam score greater than 50th percentile as a CA1 or greater than 20th percentile as a CA2 or 3 after having passed the basic exam. But these are popular opportunities to gain additional clinical experience on our busy OB and ICU services, as well as make some additional money on the weekends. Our residents care for a very diverse group of patients undergoing a wide variety of surgeries, which is a vital aspect of their training. This table shows the average number of case types by year for our recently graduated residents. Residents have a high volume of exposure to all types of cases throughout their 3 years and have consistent exposure to blocks, OB, and general ORs throughout all 3 years, as you can see here. The average number of general anesthetics tends to go down during CA3 year, which is expected given the structure of our senior residents' rotations, and it is intentional. Our senior residents spend 2 to 4 weeks running the OR board and an average of 3 weeks on trauma night float, where they're leading the team in the ORs overnight. While they are quite busy responding to codes, airways, and traumas, while also helping out team members with their own cases, the senior resident doesn't typically sit their own cases while on these rotations. Additionally, our ambulatory electives and community-based anesthesia experiences taken on during CA3 year tend to have either supervisory roles or more blocks and MAC anesthetics. Our rotation schedule is structured to ensure our senior residents are beginning to get exposed to leading an OR team, running the OR board, and functioning in a fast-paced ambulatory environment as a consultant before they graduate. Our residents have no problems getting their case numbers for any of the ACGME required index cases. In fact, due to early subspecialty exposure, most residents have the required case numbers by the end of CA2 year or the very beginning of CA3 year. As PD, I'm actually less concerned about people meeting their numbers and more concerned that residents keep tracking cases even after they reach their minimums so that we have accurate representation of the data of just how many blocks and cases our residents are participating in. As you can see on this graph, MCW residents have no trouble meeting their ACGME minimum case numbers. In addition to clinical training opportunities at MCW, there are a multitude of educational opportunities for our residents. Our residents have a large amount of protected educational time. That time is spent in a variety of ways, including at least 3 times a year simulation experiences, including 30 cases involving rare but important clinical scenarios, and the use of team steps training, which improves communication and response in emergencies. As required by the ACGME, all residents participate in at least one major QI project, which they plan as a CA1 and complete during their CA2 year, as well as present at journal clubs as a senior resident. There are a series of workshops for our CA1 residents involving simulation and didactics to prepare their knowledge and technical skills for introduction to the subspecialties later in the year. We also have retreats for each resident class yearly, including a professional development weekend for the CA2s held at a nearby indoor water park resort, which is a much-needed getaway during a cold Wisconsin February. The bulk of resident education occurs on Wednesdays during our academic half-days. The classes are split in 2, with one group protected from clinical duty in the morning and the other half in the afternoon. The first 2 Wednesdays are dedicated to our CA1 residents for simulation, workshops, problem-based learning discussions, and basic exam topics. The second 2 Wednesdays of each month are for our CA2 and CA3 residents, who together review high-yield subspecialty topics, practice oral boards, participate in journal club, and have TEE, TTE, and POCUS lectures and workshops. Oral board practice for the CA23 cohort is often led by Dr. Lean, who is a past president of the ABA and is also an experienced oral board examiner. She's a great teacher and resource to prepare for this important exam. We also incorporate resident wellness activities, quality improvement project work time, administrative time, and community outreach opportunities into these protected days to provide a well-rounded education and experience for our residents. Our grand rounds occur on Wednesday at 6:30 a.m. and include various topics from leaders in anesthesiology, with visiting professors, morbidity and mortality conferences led by our CA3s, subspecialty presentations led by our faculty, quality improvement and patient safety discussions, and health equity topics. We also take time twice yearly to give mock oral exams to all of our residents during grand rounds time, simulating the ABA exam as closely as we can with all of our faculty as examiners. In addition to all of these offerings, our curriculum is further rounded out by educational support for our residents, since residents will take 4 exams during their clinical anesthesia training and at least 2 board exams after graduating. All of our CA1 residents meet with Dr. DeSantis, our education specialist, to develop a personalized study plan at the beginning of their anesthesia training, and she remains available during the remainder of residency to support residents academically, including with test preparation as needed. We also pay for a TrueLearn subscription for our residents preparing for the in-training exam, basic, and advanced exams. And our residents have access to hundreds of electronic textbooks and online resources, including board review books, through MCW's libraries. Each year, many people ask what has been changed in the last year. This slide showcases many of the recent changes that have been made, largely in response to resident feedback, but also due to perceived need or shifts in our clinical locations and work volume as the Freighter and MCW enterprise expands and we adapt to our residents' educational needs. I cannot end this talk without mentioning the most important part of the residency, the residents themselves. In a large residency class, you will have a variety of personalities, and so it is easy for you to find your people, the people who you connect well with. We have phenomenal resident colleagues who enjoy spending a lot of time together in and out of work. Our resident retreats and outings are vital times for residents to connect outside of the clinical setting and understand how much we value them as human beings and colleagues. Our CA1 retreat usually involves a learning activity followed by lunch and fun bonding experience outside the hospital, boat tours, or ice skating, depending on the season. Our CA2s get a single-day retreat to the Woods Memorial Anesthesiology Museum just north of Chicago, lunch and an afternoon activity like trivia or an escape room. They also have a weekend retreat at Blue Harbor Resort and Spa in Sheboygan, where they focus on professional development and career planning. The CA3s have a learning activity, including a practice OSCE exam, lunch, and a fun bonding experience in the afternoon like whirly ball. In addition to the retreats, we have a general wellness fund from the department that is supplemented by our generous faculty and supports resident social events and extra refreshments and snacks at work. Faculty in the department have supported residents' annual golf outings, fundraising events, post-basic exam celebration, and other great get-togethers. All in all, our residents tend to become very close, which enriches the in-residency experience, provides peer support during the ups and downs of training, and provides our resident with a lifelong network of colleagues. Graduation is always a bittersweet time as we send our residents on to fellowships or practice. Many of our residents often choose to stay on as fellows and faculty, which does soften the blow a little bit. I hope you enjoyed learning a bit more about our residency through this presentation. I am incredibly proud of our residents, our leadership team, and the program and training that we offer to our residents. We are an excellent residency that is constantly growing and changing in response to our residents' needs, and we're located in the wonderful and often underestimated city of Milwaukee, which has amazing opportunities for all types of people and interests. I look forward to meeting you and discussing your accomplishments and goals for your training, and I wish you all the best as you take the next step forward in your medical career. Thank you for taking the time to learn about MCW's residency program.